And now, from Pasadena, it's CCN Sunrise with Sehnita Joshua Mattison, Paulo Alejandria, the Crown City News team, and the CCN Sunrise segment stars. It's time to wake up San Gabriel Valley with CCN Sunrise.
Good morning, everybody. Lots going on this morning on CCN Sunrise. If you're looking for ideas for stocking stuffers, we've got some sparkling ideas. I'm Sehnita Joshua Mattison.
And I'm Cuellar. Lo is back to give us a strategy to not lose, but at least maintain our weight during the holidays. Sounds easier said than done, this month anyway.
Now, the Royals have left the building. They are back home, but I was so excited to have them. I'm usually not into the monarchy or, the royal watching or anything, but I kind of love these two.
Well, young, English, very wealthy, and they eat pizza.
They eat pizza.
Which is a plus. You seem to like the idea that they eat pizza.
I do, because, they're just so down to earth. They play sports, they're active, they look like regular people. So I think that's why, LeBron James, he had that little royal etiquette issue with his arm around Kate.
I love that. And he just left it there. It was like, I'm surprised he didn't walk her out that way and say, you busy later? I love that.
I think Will would have stepped in, he is in the Army and all, or their version of that. So he would have stepped up if there was a problem.
Well, it's LeBron James.
It is LeBron James. Well, before we go any further, we're going to take a look at some sponsors of our segment.
Crown City News is sponsored by Foothill Transit, San Gabriel Valley Economic Partnership, Pasadena Federal Credit Union, Senior Providers Network, Ability First, Beacon Media News, EH Financial, Ganal Lumber, Siren Arts Productions. Thank you for your support of Crown City News.
It's time for Crown City News with CCN's Paulo Alejandria.
And now, CCN Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood starts right now.
Hi, Sehnita. Hi, Lee. Here's a look at some headlines making news right here in the San Gabriel Valley. They weren't just growing wisteria on Wisteria Lane. Arcadia police seized about 250 mature marijuana plants from a residence in the 400 block of East Wisteria Avenue December 4th after a local resident alerted police of suspicious activity. Police say the house had marijuana plants growing in most of the rooms and in a large converted garage, and in the residence was being used for a sophisticated illegal operation that didn't seem related to medical marijuana. Investigators say the house was rewired to bypass the meter and tapped straight into the electrical service, and also had lighting, ventilation, irrigation, and drying bins throughout the rooms. Anyone with tips on the investigation can call Arcadia Police at 626-574-5151, case number 14-5789. Anonymous tips can be given by calling Crime Stoppers 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. Texting letters TIPLA plus your tip to crimes, which is 274637, or you can find them on their webpage at lacrimestoppers.org. If you're hoping to travel from Pasadena to Azusa quickly, it won't be long before you can, since Pasadena to Azusa Gold Line is 80% complete. Once the line opens for service, it'll take 17 minutes, something that's taken our cameraman Scott Turner over an hour to do on his bike. To travel the 11.5 miles between the two cities, with stops in Arcadia, Monrovia, Doherty, and Irwindale. So far, all 28 miles of light rail track are installed, and the 14 crossings and 24 bridge structures are complete. Artists are also putting the final touches on their tiles, mosaics, and hand-carved limestone sculptures for the stations and parking structures, which are nearly complete. The project hit a milestone Monday, December 8th, when train testing began on the line using a $4 million train that weighs over 100,000 pounds. It used specialized testing gear to run on the tracks. The testing will continue for the next few months on the tracks. Metro officials say the project continues to run on time and on budget, completion in 10 months. Well, that's it for now. We'll have more news in our second half hour. Sehnita, Lee.
Thanks for that, Paulo. We're talking torture in the morning buzz. What a perfect way to start your morning, huh? The torture debate is back with a new report detailing some of the methods the CIA has used to get information from terrorists. Mr. Pasadena Michael Calderon is back with us on the buzz. Now, a lot of people are questioning the timing of this report, and it just feels like it's never going to be a good time to put out a report like this, but we do have to do it at some point, analyze what happened and if it was the right thing to do.
Well, I've talked to a lot of people, and I keep hearing remember that part in A Few Good Men where Jack goes, you can't handle the truth. And I honestly think that's the biggest case. I mean, we allow the CIA to do what they do time and time again. It's never going to be a good time for that report to come out. But it is, what we've allowed them to do.
Well, they went above and beyond of what they were allowed to do, don't you think, Lee?
That's for sure. They really did. With waterboarding, I mean, the equipment's still there. So it was. I guess one of the questions is, what was it doing there if they weren't in fact waterboarding these detainees?
I think one of the things they keep talking about was, does the ends justify the means as to what they're doing? And I think that we did find Osama, and I think that some of it, in fact, was helpful.
But we don't know if and the report's basically saying that we didn't get it from those techniques. In fact, a lot of the people who, the CIA themselves is saying that a lot of the people who were doing the interrogations weren't trained to do it. So we're giving people who aren't trained in regular interrogations to do enhanced interrogations, and they don't know what they're doing, and they don't have the skills to do regular interrogations that could have gotten the same information. And in fact, they're saying that a lot of the information that they got from the enhanced interrogations were either false, because people are going to say what they need to say to make all the pain stop.
No, I really think that, in time we're going to find out that, there's more here than we're ever really going to see. And quite frankly, we've allowed this to go on. And I know that they feel that, you feel as well that it appears that they went over and above, yet I think that there's still a reason why that they're doing what they're doing.
Well, I don't know if we allowed them to do what they did do. I think they took some poetic license with what they were told to do, and that's what we're trying to find out with these reports. But next up, the repercussions from the Sony hack are getting a lot juicier. The Gold Daggers are digging into a number of celebrity backs as we find out all the snarky comments revealed from emails between top executives. Even President Obama was not safe in this, and this is from like his biggest supporters, basically, putting out kind of racist comments.
Well, I tell you, we all think that we put something out on the internet as simple as an email, and it should be private. And it's unfortunate that these people in Hollywood still feel the way that they do. But it's a privacy issue. Other than that, and honestly, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the company, and it's embarrassing that we even have to even talk about it in some cases.
It seems to me that this, among other things, it proves that really successful people can be stupid and insensitive, just like the rest of us.
They're way beyond insensitive. I mean, the Obama comments, I can put that aside. People make, jokes in private that we shouldn't in public and don't intend in public. But the things that were said about Angelina Jolie, no talent, come on. This woman sells out movies and blockbusters like gangbusters.
People say that all the time about her. People say, Kevin Hart is an untalented little guy,
But these people are selling movies and they need their support. I mean, the fact that they're making these kinds of comments are just ridiculous.
Well,
these people need to be fired.
They have continued to support them with the money. They talked about Kevin Hart, and it was, very bad what they said, and yet they continue to support them with their dollars, with $3 to $4 million.
Obviously, he's worth it, and he said, this is my brand. I'm going to own it, and I'm going to take it seriously.
Right.
They take their brand seriously. I guess so, maybe not.
They paid the man, but once again, this is just incredible that it's out there. It's very sad and very worrisome too. When you think about, your emails, I don't know how bad they are, but those could be out there. I don't know what kind of repercussions those are going to be like.
My emails are colorful sometimes.
I know the ones you've sent to me, Lee. I hope they don't get hacked by North Korea. But, lesson learned, don't put it in email if you're going to be a jackass. I don't know if I can say jackass on TV, but I just did. Well, thank you, Michael. We're going to have you on in the second buzz when we return.
Great to be back.
Then of the year is a perfect time to remember the legacy of our parents and grandparents.
Mary Winters tells us ways we can keep our family tradition alive next on the Senior Solutions segment.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Getting together for the holidays is a perfect way to keep family traditions alive.
And also helps the legacy of parents and grandparents thrive. Mary Winters is here with some fun ideas in her Senior Solutions segment. Mary, I'm looking forward to your ideas about this because they have so many memories that it feels like you can't let them slip away.
And that's what makes us who we are. So passing traditions from one generation to the next is important for several reasons. We create memories this way and connections within our families. This is also a great way to maintain our traditions and bonds, what we used to do together, things we gather over now, and what we want to share for our future. It's where we find our core that gives us a sense of identity and belonging. When the going gets tough, we can find solace and strength within our roots and the traditions that have helped ground us in our beliefs, ethics, and value systems. I remember a family get-together when I was about 12 years old, and it was a holiday when we gathered by the fire to hear my dad talk about something he was excited to read to all of us. He pulled out this diary from my great-great-grandmother who immigrated from Ireland after the potato famine. Her life was very ordinary, but listening to it was absolutely extraordinary. She shared about her journey to the States, her faith, her love of family, her personal opinions about the Civil War. The amazing thing is the apple didn't fall far from the tree, as our family still has so many of the same basic beliefs intact. So what's important to you? What do you do to keep your traditions alive? How about talking with older family members? Reminisce with them, ask them to recall things from their childhood, including how they remember their own grandparents. Ask them what kind of child your parent was. You'll get some good stories out of that. When I get together with my cousins, we talk about my grandfather and the story he would tell about the tractor. We'd always roll our eyes, but now we really wish he was here with us to tell that story. It was a simple time growing up on the farm at the turn of the century and all the things that it represented for us. Go through old photos, talk about where they took place, why that was important, or who the people are, or should you even know who these people are. Do activities together, find things to do. Doing puzzles, taking walks or building something, grow something together. My grandma grew a garden with us and we harvested strawberries to make jam. So just find something that you really enjoy together as a group and make that important and special and continue that tradition together. Back to you.
I love the idea of recipes because I just feel like you have to get those recipes written down. And at least in my family, everyone's like, I have it in my head.
Oh yeah, and I didn't get to even really touch on that, but I mean, my grandmother would make dumplings and it was so fun, so.
I know that my grandmother will not part with that brisket recipe. I think she took it with her to the grave, which is respectable. As if dating isn't hard enough, especially here in LA, the holidays can make it even trickier.
Dr. Michelle Meyer is here to help you survive holiday dating next in CCN Family to Family segment.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
Baby, it's cold outside. As if the holidays aren't stressful enough, dating during the holidays can give you the shivers.
Dr. Michelle Meyer is here to help relieve some of the tensions involved with holiday dating. It is so hard out there. I don't wish that on anyone.
The most horrible stories about holiday dating.
You know, the holiday season is busy and stressful time for everyone, including those in a relationship, married, single, or other. If you're single, you want to hit the holiday party circuit. You want to look gorgeous and smiling at the world. You know, these events can really help you circulate in a social setting you normally would not. But a few things you don't want to do. A big don't check your online dating profile. Do not impulsively check your email for invites. And above all, do not online stalk. It will only end making you more upset than you started. Learn to do your own thing. This is really a great time for people to get to know themselves and not sort of get so overwhelmed with, oh, I have to be in a relationship with someone right now. I have to be doing this and this and that. You know, if you are in a new relationship, you really want to establish gift giving. Are you going to give gifts or not? It may be uncomfortable, but it will save you the awkwardness in the end. Also, if you're invited to the holiday party of your new interest, don't assume it means more and don't assume the opposite. You know, and try not to get upset if you're not invited. If you do invite someone to a party, make sure you have time to spend with that person and don't just leave them standing by themselves. If you are invited to a family event with your new partner, bring something. Never, ever, ever show up empty-handed to the host. If you're newly dating and attending the infamous work party with your partner, a few things you want to consider. First, if you really like the person and you want to continue seeing them, think about these things. If you're wearing something that you're not really sure about, you probably shouldn't wear it. If we second guess what we wear, it's probably not the best idea. You know, secondly, slow down on the alcohol. We all know that one person who had too much to drink and ended up doing the walk of shame on Monday morning. Now, the last thing, try not to engage in heavy discussions. I know we have a lot going on in the world right now, but try to just keep it fun and light. It's a holiday party. It's not a time to talk about your political views or fights or those types of things. Yeah.
Those are great tips. Thanks for that, Michelle. Well, if you're still trying to come up with the perfect stocking stuffer,
we've got some dazzling and cozy ideas when we come back, so don't go away.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Still looking for the perfect stocking stuffers?
Look no further. Olivia Alexander from the Crystal Cult has some ideas to showcase along with her Swarovski crystal embellished sunglasses and vaporizers. These are so awesome. I don't even know if I'm bold enough for this.
Oh, everyone is bold enough. The holidays is all about sparkling. You are looking extra fabulous.
I'm sparkling. I feel very sparkling.
And these are great if you're traveling, you know, you want to look a little bit glamorous in the airport. And, you know, you also might attract a holiday maid like you guys were talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
We also have these fabulous vaporizers, which are great because one cigarette equals 5 minutes taken off your life.
Oh, this for cigarettes?
Well, it's almost like
I thought it was
a cigarette.
something like that. I had no idea what they were for.
Vape is also the word of the year, so these are super hot right now. We have some other fabulous jewelry from Heat. It features leather and sparkles, which is all about this holiday season.
So this is the color that I'm wearing,
It is Marsala. You are so on trend, if I may say so.
I coordinated my outfit just for that.
Fabulous.
It's not just for chicken anymore, obviously.
So this is another statement piece, and it is just for someone that you really love and you want to show them something super special for the holidays.
Well, especially it's a good way for if you're going from like work to an office party or things like that.
Absolutely.
You can maybe have something less for work and then put that on to dress it up.
You could just throw it on with a blazer, your work outfit, and you will look super duper fabulous.
I'm terrible at accessorizing, but this just like makes the day, right?
You're right.
I don't need to do much more.
Are these unisex? Would a guy wear any of these pieces?
Absolutely. Celebrities like Rachel Ray and Guy Fieri, they wear them. You know, you can really, guys can sparkle nowadays. Are you ready to sparkle?
I love to sparkle.
This would also look very good on you.
Right?
It matches the tie.
It's like, yeah, I think bikers could get away with this, right?
Anyone could get away with it. Next up, we have the Lacquer Cabinet by Nail Teeny. It's a subscription service, so you can join $25. You get 3 nail polishes, and you can actually become your own mixologist and mix your own nail polish. Are you ready for your manicure?
How cool is that? Why do you think they call it manicure, Sehnita?
Exactly.
Oh, well, there you go. Let's look at your pretty nails.
Oh, we don't want to look at those.
But, you know, that's the thing. With nails, it's becoming so complicated with all the different designs. So now you can mix your own colors or...
Yeah, and you can actually, it's so great because you can customize your own color. You can have something completely unique, and it's also an interactive gift. You know, you don't want to give somebody a gift that's going to sit on the shelf. You want to give them something that they can work with every single day and change it up, and it's a fabulous gift. And next up, we have something extra special. We're gonna bring in our models, Brooke and Marilyn, and they are zooping it up in the coolest, most luxurious onesie that I've ever seen.
These adult onesies are so big. I've heard so many people talk about them and love them, and I just didn't even know how to picture them, but you guys look great.
They're so comfy after the gym, going to yoga, or even running around with your holiday shopping. I mean, could you just imagine like grocery store and to the mall, wherever you need to go?
Well, you know, can you go out and about in this? I mean, is this something more for snuggling on the couch? No?
No, not at all. She's wearing it with heels. We've also got them paired with moccasins. You could pair them with sneakers. You could throw on a pair of sunnies. There's really endless possibilities for the onesies, and they're so luxurious. They're made with really amazing fabrics, so cozy and wonderful.
You're gonna love that.
I guarantee you're going to see people wearing Uggs with these.
Oh,
Guarantee
yes.
it.
Absolutely.
Guarantee
I
it.
like the heel look myself. I mean, that's really dressing it up, taking it out. Well, thank you so much, Olivia, for coming and showing us these ideas, because I still have to figure out what to do with the holidays and what to get people. So thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Lots more coming up in the next half hour. The Smile Lady will put a smile on your face for the Producer's Point.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him opening his own clothing store at the age of 18? 1 in 138,000. Excited to be a part of pop culture, he packed for the big city. The odds of finding someone to invest in his vision? 1 in 4.5 million. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
And now, from Pasadena, it's CCN Sunrise with Sehnita Joshua Mattison, Paulo Alejandria, the Crown City News team, and the CCN Sunrise segment stars. It's time to wake up, San Gabriel Valley, with CCN Sunrise.
We're back with our second half hour of CCN Sunrise. I'm Sehnita Joshua Mattison.
And I'm Lee Cuellar. You know, great article, Sehnita, about the 85 most disruptive inventions of all time. I think they started in the 50s and they worked their way to modern times. And just looking at the list, I have several favorites here. Do you have any favorites? I know you read the article.
Well, I have a cat, so kitty litter's right up there with me.
Oof,
and I
yeah.
also wear contacts, so contact lenses have changed my life.
Wow.
So those are mine. What about you?
My goodness. You know, I think I like Motown. This is my top 4. Motown, YouTube, bottled water, and email. Those things seem to resonate with me the most, and were most disruptive, not necessarily in a bad way.
Well, it's interesting because you think, today you think of, with Facebook and all of that they would be at the top of the list.
Right.
Because they are life-changing to us.
They are indeed. Yeah.
But it's really the jet engine that, makes the top of the list because it's brought the whole world closer.
That's right.
So I see that, but can't live without my kitty litter. That would be a little problematic. But now we've got the news with Paulo Alejandria.
And now, CCN, Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood starts right now.
Hi, Sehnita and Lee. Here's a look at some news headlines happening right here in the San Gabriel Valley. With the rainy season underway, LA County Department of Public Works started cleaning out 45,000 cubic yards of mud, rock, and debris from 4 of the 6 basins in the Glendora foothills to prepare for more storms on the way. Each basin is capable of holding 35,000 cubic yards of debris. Although the basins were only 25% impacted from previous storms, the cleanup is expected to help prevent the mudslides in this area as seen in the past. There are 155 debris basins in the foothills ranging from Santa Clara to Claremont. Once the 3 to 4 week cleanup process is complete, which of course will take longer with the rains, the sediment collected will be taken to sediment sites and gravel pits in Irwindale. The county captured 1.8 billion gallons of water during the last storm in the reservoirs and dams in the mountains. Mandatory evacuations were ordered in areas of Glendora, Azusa, and Silverado burn area. During the holidays, police say everyone needs to be careful of possible scams, especially the elderly. CCN's Tony Mead has more.
Hi, everybody. With the holidays upon us, receiving mail and leaving packages on porches may not be safe. I'm here at the Pasadena Police Department with Lieutenant Kordikian to discuss helpful tips on how to avoid mail scams. Has there been recent activity in the area?
Well, typically during the holiday season this time of year, we tend to have an uptick in property type crimes. One of those types of activities tend to be parcel theft, that is parcel packages that people get during the holiday season at their home or receive sometimes may largely be left unattended on porches, and we have people that seek the opportunities or opportunists that look for parcel packages or mail that's collecting in a mailbox, and they'll help themselves to it. So what we're trying to encourage is for the public to be a little bit more vigilant, to make sure that if they are going to receive a parcel package, to have someone at the house to receive that, and so that it doesn't sit on the porch, and also to check their mailbox probably more frequently than they normally would. Again, during the holiday season, these types of crimes seem to be more prevalent.
Are there any other financial scams?
We do have a phenomenon that typically occur over the phone and target largely our older population or our elderly population in the city. They're dubbed, or they're known by law enforcement or dubbed by law enforcement to be known as granny scams. We also want to warn our public as well, especially the elderly public, that if you receive phone calls from, let's say, someone posing to be an IRS agent stating that you owe money, or if someone posing to be a relative, and they're very convincing, often they're very convincing and they sound convincing, we encourage the public to call the police department and notify us before they resend any money or purchase anything for these individuals.
Discuss the Neighborhood Watch program.
So here at the Pasadena Police Department in the Neighborhood Outreach Unit, we have outreach officers that help organize neighborhoods and communities and bring them together to make sure that they're able to help each other out, especially during the holidays when people like to travel. For example, we have a neighborhood outreach officer that will organize neighborhood watch teams within the city, and we like to appoint block captains. So we're encouraging the public that if you'd like to organize your neighborhood, we'd be more than happy to help you facilitate that. Also, especially during the holiday season when people are traveling, let your neighbors know to at least watch your newspapers and bring them in for you, or gather your mail, or stop the delivery service of your mail and your newspapers entirely.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
If you have been a victim of mail theft, contact your local U.S. Postal Service. In Pasadena, Tony Mead, CCN.
A mission to Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, might be in our future through the recent appropriations package that increased funding for NASA's planetary science programs. Congressman Adam Schiff praised the bipartisan increase in NASA's budget above President Obama's proposed cuts of the last 3 years. The increase means that Cassini Curiosity and other existing missions will be funded along with the Mars 2020 rover and a full exploration of Europa. In a statement, Schiff said, quote, "After 3 years of fighting the administration for adequate funding for space exploration, these appropriations packages properly supports NASA's priorities and especially NASA's crown jewel, the planetary science program, by specifically laying out Congress's plan for our planetary science program, a Mars 2020 mission and a trip to Europa, two of the science community's highest priorities. It's my hope that the administration will now work hand in hand with us to help make this happen," end quote. Overall, NASA's budget reaches just over $18 billion, $549 million above the president's request, and $364 million above last year. Planetary spending will increase to $1.45 billion, which includes $302 million of the Mars program, with $100 million of that going for the Mars 2020 rover. The Europa mission could launch as early as 2021. That's it for Crown City News. Lee and Sehnita, back to you.
Thanks, Paulo. I'm headed to Europa anytime soon. Can't wait for that. Now we're back with the Morning Buzz, and once again, Pasadena Weekly featured the 2014 edition of their Tale of Two Cities, highlighting the economic disparities between the rich and poor here in Pasadena. Mr. Pasadena, Michael Calderon, is back for the Buzz, and last time Mayor Bogard was here, we asked him if he felt if he led two different cities. Take a look at his very candid response.
There's no question but that Pasadena has significant population segments that are in need. They need better jobs, they need better homes, they need better public education. That's part of Pasadena, although it's not recognized by lots of people from outside. They think of the Tournament of Roses, the Rose Parade on January 1 as all of Pasadena. So yes, and some of the trends nationally in our economy, the increasing disparity between lower income persons' income and high income individuals who are successful, that plays into Pasadena as a tale of two cities. And we simply have to continue to work very hard to respond to the needs of people by strengthening our economy, increasing jobs, providing access to health services and to public education.
Michael, so I was very surprised that Mayor Bogard was very much like, yeah, I do feel this way, that they're two different cities. And, you know, I know Pasadena Weekly has been putting out this report. We've been talking about it for some time. It just doesn't feel like it's changing, and in fact, it's getting worse. You feel that way?
Well, you know, I see it's always kind of been this way. This has always been a luxury part of the country for the people from Chicago. They came here early on and came out here during the winter seasons, and this was their paradise. This is where the rich paradise was. This beautiful mid-sized city here in Pasadena, people tend to gravitate toward it. We've got a metro rail that actually brings some of the homeless people here on a constant basis from LA. And the haves and the have-nots, you know. I think it's going to continue to be that way. I don't really see too much change going on when it comes to more rich or more poor.
But Lee, you know, there are families here who've been here for decades, and you know, maybe at some point bought a house that was reasonably priced, and now just can't keep up with the growth of the city.
Well, they really can't. Thing is, if they've not used their house like an ATM. Hopefully that mortgage is, you know, they paid $90,000 for it 25, 30 years ago, and it's still, that payment's still manageable. What's interesting is the amount of new construction going on in apartments and condominiums, and rental units especially. They can fetch far higher rents than the average single-family home does. So those single-family homeowners who are renting their properties are creeping up as well. They think they can get more rent from their existing tenants.
I just feel like we can't ignore the people who are here and just be like, well, we're a rich city, so you know, sucks to be you, the rest
honestly,
of you out there.
I don't really think that we've ever really ignored them. I mean, quite honestly, when it comes to nonprofits, this is one of the cities that has the most nonprofits, and by far we continue to do a great majority of wonderful things for the poor, whether it's Union City, Salvation Army, just to name a few. So I don't think they're truly being ignored, but to be addressed fully, I think we're going to continue to work towards that.
We do have some work, but speaking of apartments and that Mayor Eric Garcetti's plan to have all apartment buildings built before 1980 retrofitted to modern seismic compliance has renters shaking in their boots. That's because the cost for compliance will obviously be passed to already cash-strapped renters. Lee, is there any way around this?
There really isn't. Landlords can pass along $75 a month to their, to tenants. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens to those the apartment associations, things like organizations like that, and what they're going to tell their membership about this whole situation.
Oddly enough, it's one of those renters. I didn't see that coming. But of course, we're here in California. Why haven't we addressed this earlier? But now you're right. I mean, absolutely, it's going to hit them, in the pocketbook, just to take care of, this minor retrofitting. And I don't know what the full extent of that's going to be,
Well, that's the hard thing with this, kind of overpricing of everything. Low-income people, for some people, $75 a month might not make a big difference. But for some who are living paycheck to paycheck, that is a huge amount coming out. And I know we need to do these retrofits. It is the right thing to do. But how can we distribute this a little bit more so that we're not already killing people who are, kind of buried under this weight?
I think you said earlier about the fact that we've got more people coming in. I think maybe we should hit those people as they're coming in and take it easier on some of the people that have already been there for quite some, like a grandfathering system.
Absolutely. Well, speaking, we're going to talk about Congresswoman Judy Chu, who's been a guest on our show, and in fact, she was just here right before the elections, before her landslide re-election. Recently, the House Ethics Committee scolded her for using congressional staffers for campaign work and then impeding the investigation. Now, Judy Chu is saying, this happened right after her nephew died in a military hazing incident, which was obviously very, just a tragic situation. And so she asked her staffers to put out emails to her supporters talking about this, but didn't quite do it the right way.
Well, I think ultimately Congress had to do what they were going to do, but I think Judy Chu really felt that this was a necessary evil unto itself. I really don't think it's an evil, but I think it's something that that she needed to do.
She's very well versed in Congress, though. Did she know what she was doing when she was making these mistakes?
Well, the thing is this: she's, it's not that she knew. She's saying that she had no knowledge of it, right? But she did obstruct the investigation, is what they said afterwards, right?
Basically, telling the staffer, "This is how it happened."
This is how it went down. How congressional of her.
Well, honestly, I'm sure that this will blow over in the very near future. There's so many other topics when it comes to this.
All right. Well, we are going to have you back. This is your second time here, and we appreciate it. You're a friend of the show, so we'll see you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. Coming up next, you won't help but smile for the Producer's Point segment.
The Smile Lady, Deborah Johnson, tells you all about why her show helps spread good vibes. That's next.
I wish I was in school. If only I had a math test today. I'll stay after class. I'll clean the chalkboard. I wish I was in school.
School ends, but free lunches for your kids don't have to. Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/summer meals for help.
Okay, Simon, what do people wear?
Clothes.
That's right, so it's important to learn how to dress yourself. Here's how it's done. Shirt, underwear, pants, socks, shoes. Underwear, always first, name tag on the back. Then pants and shirt. Go ahead and put this on. Now with the shirt, you want to make sure the first button's right or you have to start all over again, okay? Socks left on left, right on right. Tying the shoes, we're gonna take the laces, we're gonna cross them over, we're gonna turn around where the bunny goes down in the hole, pull it tight, and bunny ears. Got it?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Pasadena media producer Deborah Johnson uses her show to put a smile on your face. The Smile Lady's here to tell us all about smile and spread a little joy. First, Deborah, what does SMILE stand for?
Oh, support, motivate, invest, love, and educate. Helping your child tap into their inner smile, which is their purpose.
That's great. So why is this show important to do?
It's important because I think a lot of times with technology and a lot of children being in foster care or whatever, nobody concentrates on nurturing that flower and helping them tap into their passion and purpose. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're going haywire. People are not working their purpose. Nobody's paid attention to nurture that flower with manure and thorns and rain and sunshine.
All of it goes together, like you're saying,
Yes.
the manures. Sometimes the
Everything.
bad stuff,
Yes,
it
helps
can
them
nurture
grow.
you and build you up.
Exactly. And just recently a little child told their mom, "Mom, why are you trying to make me a rose and I'm a perfectly good carrot?"
Who is this kid? Let's have him on.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
Thank you. So nurture your carrot, your cucumber, your bird of paradise, your rose. You can't make them clones like computers.
All right, celebrate the difference.
Exactly.
Right?
There you go.
Thank you.
is
Thank
so
you very much.
important.
Feel free to use that.
Yes.
So
There's another one, touch another generation. That's my tag.
That's not
you may
bad.
tag on the computer, but my
Yes.
tag is touch another generation. That's what we're all born to do.
But how different do you think kids? I mean, I know with the technology we talk about how different they are, but at the core of it, how different are kids today?
Well, number one, they're smarter than us, to me.
Don't I know? My 4-year-old.
We're offering the wisdom, and I tell them, don't let an adult tell you that you're stupid and they're, no. As a matter of fact, I'm tagging into them, so they will be my external hard drive, and I'm learning all of this. Technology is not going away. I think they're just given a little bit too much information without guidance. Too quickly. And you can't do that. You can't do that even with an automobile or anything. You just can't just pump and keep overflowing gas.
Yeah, first time you get in the car, you don't drive on the freeway.
Most of us.
Tell it.
So Deborah, how did this start?
Oh, in '92, back when the Rodney King incident started, I wasn't smiling. As a matter of fact, when I smiled, my face quivered. And when I saw everything and everybody had to make a difference, I said, you know what? I'm going to smile, support, motivate. My daughter did a thing for the acronym, and she won a contest. And that was back then in the journal. It was published. Google that one, children. And so basically it started there in the churches, in homes, in the streets, and the homeless. I love the prison, foster children, all of that who really don't have a constant guide to help them.
I love that because it gives us hope with all of this, like Ferguson.
Yes, exactly. It's cultural education also.
All this mayhem that's going out there makes you feel like this world is so terrible, but You have people like you trying to take something negative, making it positive, and that's what we have to look forward to.
One child at a time. We think we have to do this mass thing and cameras have to be there. No, one child at a time.
Well, you're doing an amazing job. I really respect that you're doing your part to make a difference in one child, and actually quite a lot with your show.
Yes,
So,
as an educational surrogate in the Pasadena Unified School District, we need more of them.
absolutely.
More of them.
Well, thank you, and you're obviously a friend of the show. Welcome back anytime. Tell us more.
Always doing a great job.
Thanks,
a
Dave.
great job.
The Mad Chef Dave Matthews tasted some amazing Venezuelan chocolate.
You'll find out all about it when Taste of Sunrise visits Cafe Amara next.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
She was just here to show us how to make Venezuelan arepas.
Now Chef Amara gets a visit from the mad chef Dave Matthews at her cafe, and they talk Venezuelan chocolate. Take a look. Why didn't they take me?
Yum.
Good evening. We are here tonight at Amara Chocolate and Cafe here in Pasadena, and I have the privilege of standing next to the proprietor, Amara. So I just want to thank you for inviting us in tonight, and it's such an amazing display of chocolate and different items that we have here. So I want to talk a little about what you do here.
No, thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you. And yes, we do offer handmade chocolates here in our store and many more things. And I'm excited to tell you about them.
So let's talk about all the chocolates, because the chocolates are truly amazing. And what fascinates me is all the different names.
Yes. Well, the names are the fun. Well, I don't know. They're all fun. They're all fun.
They really are all fun.
And chocolate should be about fun. And that is exactly what I want people to have here. When they come over, from selecting what they want to have to till the moment they try it, I think it's such an experience.
So what's your favorite?
That's a bad question. No. Well, let me tell you that.
What's your newest favorite, I should say?
Well, yes, I am in love right now with the Hangover.
Oh,
yes.
no!
So in that one we got a little fun, just because it's 60% dark chocolate, and then we put a tequila Don Julio, and then we finish it with a very nice chile that is chile pasilla. So the chile pasilla is
nice.
Yeah. So it's like an aged, like a dry chile that it becomes like really sweet.
Do I dare ask what the inspiration was?
Of course, it was. That's again a bad question. No, definitely Mexico. In Southern California, I got to fall in love with chiles. In Venezuela, we don't use chiles at all. Actually, we don't grow chiles in Venezuela, so our food is not spicy at all. Yes. So I decided to incorporate the chiles since there's so many here. There's a beautiful variety, and it goes. It's hard to pick a chile that goes well with chocolate, and I found this one, fell in love with it, and said, well, it's missing something, and I said, it's tequila. So that's one of my favorites right now.
So with the coffee, though, you offer a spicy version and a non-spicy version.
Yes.
So how did that come around?
Well, the thing is, we started with the cacao latte. So the cacao latte is a traditional way in Venezuela. Thank you. Cacao means cocoa, by the way. But it's basically the very dark chocolate, a double espresso, like very strong, and the steamed milk. And I was like, yeah, people love it, and we get people asking for Mexican coffee and like café de olla and things like that. I'm like, I don't know how to make café de olla. But I know that Chile goes very well with dark chocolate, and I started experimenting. And we always like to say that we serve Venezuelan food made with Mexican love, because most of our workers in the kitchen, they come from Mexico, and they were like, what if you put this chile here? And we started, trying it out. And they're like, oh man, I can go with this coffee the whole day. And we put it up, and it's the Aztec chocolate. That's how it was born.
Wow.
Yeah, just so you know, everything is made here in house. We don't use any preservatives. We make our chocolates weekly.
It's a very special little shop here in Pasadena that really specializes in Venezuelan foods.
Yes, correct. We do, besides the handmade chocolates, we have amazing coffee. We do Venezuelan style coffee that, by the way, is very strong. So that can fuel your morning and your afternoon.
I love it though because you get the choice of spicy or mild, and the spicy is actually really good.
Yes, sometimes you don't only need coffee, sometimes you need something extra, and then that's what the spicy gives you.
So this is Amara Chocolate and Cafe. We're at 55 South Raymond. What are your hours?
Well, they're interesting. We close on Monday. We need a day to make all of these beautiful things. We also bake here in house. So yes, we close on Mondays, but we open from Tuesdays to Fridays at 8:30 a.m. to Saturdays, I would say. 8:30 a.m. Close at 7 p.m. most of the weekdays, but Saturdays and Fridays we close at 10 p.m. So people come for churros y chocolates at night. And Sundays we do open a little later from 9:30 a.m. to 7 p.m.
So, well, I cannot wait to try some of the morning stuff I'm going to be in.
Thank you.
So, it's the Mad Chef Dave Matthews reporting from Amara Cafe here in Pasadena.
They make it look easy, but CCN's Kelly Force shows us that lawn bowling may be tougher than you think.
And in her Fit and Beautiful segment, Loa has your holiday weight management strategy. That's next on CCN Sunrise. Think only old men play lawn bowling?
Well, you're only half right. CCN's Kelly Force visited the Pasadena Lawn Bowling Club, and she tells us who else is playing in this report.
Pasadena is known for its world-famous Rose Bowl, but here on the main lawn of Castle Green, the word bowl takes on a whole new meaning. The Pasadena Lawn Bowling Club, the oldest sports club in the city's history. It is one of 5 lawn bowling clubs in the San Gabriel Valley alone, and the variety of people who play just might surprise you.
Oh, I know a lot of people like to make jokes, little old men out there in their whites lawn bowling, and that's true. That's what a lot of us are. But there are a lot of younger people who bowl. This year, the national championships were held out in Arcadia at the bowling green out there. So people from all over the country came and bowled there. And most of the people who bowl in those things are not little old men.
And young people are not the only ones breaking the sports stereotype.
There are quite a few women that bowl, and there's no real gender advantage for a man over a woman. So a woman can be absolutely as competitive at lawn bowling as a man.
The aim of the game is simple. Each team must get their bowls, or large black balls, as close as possible to the target, called a jack. It's a lot harder than it looks. The game requires skill, strategy, and arm strength, as this reporter found out. The skill and strategy of lawn bowling are big reasons why passersby turn into club members.
I really like the physics of the game because it's the only sport where the balls are not round and they don't go straight. They're machined off center and so they curve, and I find that really fascinating.
It's a very competitive sport, so people that love golf because of its competition, or tennis because of its competition, will really love lawn bowling.
Each member pays $200 a year to keep their playing fields, called the greens, in perfect condition. Members can also enjoy the clubhouse, which offers players a chance to admire memorabilia from both the club's history and the sport itself. To club members, the best part of the game is the people they meet.
The members are fun. You really get to know people very well.
The Pasadena Lawn Bowling Club meets Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 9 a.m. First-timers get a free lesson. If you'd like to join these guys, go to PasadenaLawnBowlingClub.com. In Pasadena, Kelly Forsch, CCN.
Don't even worry about losing weight this holiday season. What a relief, huh? You can put that on the resolution list.
In her Fit and Beautiful segment, Lo is here with a strategy to maintain our weight so we don't have to get rolled out of those holiday parties that Dr. Michelle told us about.
Good morning. Yes, managing your weight during the holidays, always a big thing to consider. But the fact is, it's not as difficult as we always make it out to be. The number one thing we want to think about, you got to be prepared. The thing we want to prepare is your blood sugar. If you're always spiking your insulin, you're going to be craving sweets, you're going to be jonesing for all those holiday goodies. So let's manage that first and foremost. Be prepared. Best way to do that is with almonds. Almonds are the number one source of leptin. Leptin is that substance that acts on your brain and kind of makes you feel, oh, okay, I'm satiated, I feel good, I don't really need that, I'm not hungry. So let's make that happen twice a day. If you know you've got a holiday party that night, handful of almonds mid-morning, handful of almonds in the afternoon, and that'll keep you nice and stable through the day. Then when you show up at the party, you're on your game, you're prepared, you're not craving, you're not starving. The second thing we want to do, we want to be prepared first. The second thing is we want to just be joyful. If you can focus on what's happening at all the holiday events around you, the people, the friends, the beauty of it all, then we're not so focused on food, because really that big table of holiday, all that stuff, you know those parties where everybody brings something and you're walking around going, oh my goodness, that's a big stomach ache and acid reflux and bloating and all that stuff waiting to happen? All right, be selective. So that's the third thing, be selective. If you're looking at this big table of holiday goodies, what are you going to do? Are you going to do proteins, carbs, fruit, all of it, all on one plate? That is a gut bomb. That is a nightmare. So be selective. If you're going to do proteins, do that and set fruit aside for later. Make your choice so that we're going to be prepared using almonds daily, especially when we know we're going to be at those events and parties. The second one is to be joyful. Focus on the good stuff around you, the happiness and good times, rather than the food, which isn't always that good anyway. And the last one is to be selective. Choose what you need. Choose what it is you want to do. So with those three things in mind, Sehnita, it's not that tough to maintain your weight. It's really about managing your blood sugar and just making a couple of good choices.
So the good choice would not be sugar-covered almonds, huh?
Yeah, yeah, no.
I'd be on Lo's bad, naughty list.
Well, but even so, that's an actual second choice. Raw organic almonds is the best way to do it. But even almonds, you're still going to have the protein in the almonds, so try to not have them sugar-coated, but you know.
I'll do my best, Lo, thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. That's it for the show now. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for supporting our show.
Big thanks also to Michael Calderon, Mr. Pasadena, for joining us on The Buzz, Olivia Alexander, owner of the Crystal Cult, Marilyn Simpson and Brooke Cockrell for modeling the Zoop It Up adult onesies, and Smile Lady Deborah Johnson for joining us in studio.
Thanks also to our segment stars and crew, and especially to you out there watching us. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Crown City News is sponsored by Foothill Transit, San Gabriel Valley Economic Partnership, Pasadena Federal Credit Union, Senior Providers Network, Ability First, Beacon Media News, EH Financial, Ganal Lumber, Siren Arts Productions. You too can sponsor Crown City News. Call 626-344-8314 or email sponsors@crowncitynews.com. Thank you for your support of Crown City News.